and welcome to the UEFA preliminary draw for the FIFA World Cup 2022. In normal circumstances, we'd find ourselves in front of a packed auditorium. However, these times are anything but normal. Tonight, we are live from Zurich, but sadly, with no audience. Soon, we'll discover the path that awaits each of the 55 nations as they strive for a place at the finals in Qatar. Lifting the FIFA World Cup trophy is undoubtedly the dream of every player on the planet. And of the 6 continental confederations, European teams have proved a consistent force when it comes to claiming football's ultimate prize. It's quite a legacy that European sides have established at the FIFA World Cup finals. So many incredible moments over the years. Now, as we start to look ahead to the next edition of the tournament, European ambitions will undoubtedly be high once again. Tonight, I'm delighted to say that I'm joined by 2 of the legends on the game, both of whom have made a very big impact for European qualifiers at different finals. So, let's welcome 2006 FIFA World Cup champion with Italy and legend of AS Roma. Please welcome Daniele De Rossi. Ciao, Daniele, come stai? Tutto a posto?
Tutto bene, tutto a posto.
Grazie mille per essere qui. Benissimo.
Prego, piacere.
Allora, first of all, we would like to pay our respects to one of the most important icons in the history of football who recently passed away, Diego Armando Maradona. Daniele, you are Italian, and Maradona played in Italy at Naples, and you also played in Argentina at Boca Juniors. How would you define the impact that Maradona has had in the history of football?
A huge impact. I was in Argentina for 6 months, and it was clear to me why they love him that much. I spent an afternoon with him. I met him once, and he showed me how great and humble he was. So I think this is the reason why everybody across the world woke up with this terrible feeling of loss. And that's why he always be missed, and we never forget him.
Indeed, very beautiful and touching words, and it is a sad feeling that we all share nowadays.
Yeah.
Daniele, I have to say that we're not going to be alone tonight.
I know it.
Sei pronto per il sorteggio? Are you ready for the draw?
Prontissimo.
Perfecto. Alongside him is a former Netherlands player who appeared at 2 FIFA World Cups, including the 2010 final in South Africa. Please welcome Rafael Van Der Vaart. ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo estás, Rafael? Bienvenido.
Muy bien, gracias. ¿Y tú?
Muy bien, un placer tenernos a los dos hoy en el estudio, aquí en Zurich. So, Rafael, I'm sure you have great memories of Maradona as a player. Tell us about it.
Yeah, the first time that I was really watching him and he scored that great goal in '94, I think it was against Greece. Yeah, it was great. But I think, he made such an impact on the football. And for all of us, he's an example. Of course, he made some mistakes, but we all human, and we made mistakes.
Indeed. Thank you for sharing that with us. Rafa, speaking about memorable moments, what is your favorite moment of your participation at the FIFA World Cups?
Yeah, he always says that because it's of course 2010. It was a pity that we lost against a better team, Spain, let's be honest. But for me to play a World Cup final and he won it, I'm not. But that day, and I was not even a starting player, but I came on, and that day is something special. It's different than every other game. We lost it. We were so close to the title, but I think Spain, they deserve to win the title.
Daniele, you are a champion, a world champion. When you were a young boy back in Rome, did you ever imagine that one day you would be a champion with Italy?
Well, you can't imagine this. Maybe you can dream about, and then it happened. It happened many years later, and then this was my best memories of my career. Most of all, the day after we won the World Cup, the celebration in Rome, in my town, in Circo Massimo, it's something I cannot forget for all my life. Almost 2 million fans, Italian fans, crazy, in love with us, celebrating this World Cup trophy, and we were out of our mind, happy, and open bus. We were very happy.
That sounds amazing.
Yep.
Such an incredible memory. So, if both of you were still players, which teams would you be hoping to avoid? Rafael.
Yeah, for me, it's always Spain because the Dutch style is a little bit similar than the Spanish football, and but they, in my time, they were better. And it's always the tiki-taka that everybody talks about, and you just run behind the ball, and that was not our game, also not my game. So I didn't like to play against Spain.
Okay, tiki-taka, Spain. I know what you mean. In your case, Daniele?
Yeah, I agree. Spain, if they are in good shape, they don't touch the ball for 90 minutes, and it's something very frustrating. But there are many teams, other teams that are starting to play in this way. Even Italy is improving and is changing our mentality, and they're doing a very good job in this period. So we're very proud of them.
Indeed, European teams are really, really tough ones. And, of course, our European team triumphed once again in 2018. But it wasn't just France flying the flag from Europe. Up to 4 teams, the 4 semi-finalists, were from Europe. So they gave us a really, really amazing time for the thousands of viewers back in Russia and millions watching it from home.
We've always had an expectation that England should be challenging for world champions.
On nous parlait toujours de Golden Generation.
Pritisak je bio ogroman zato što su uvijek bila očekivanja.
On était placés peut-être dans les favoris de cette Coupe du Monde.
Prenez du plaisir les mecs, hein. C'est un match de Coupe du Monde comme on rêve.
It was important to me that we really had a go at the tournament, attacked it and embraced it.
You can play the biggest game of your career at club level, it will never ever be the same than kicking the ball and having the whole nation celebrating that goal.
On était vraiment tous ensemble, tous soudés.
Mi smo prošli grupu sa 9 bodova.
Od kad sam tu nisam osjetio nikad takvu vjeru da možemo stvarno nešto napraviti.
We hadn't won a knockout match for 12 years.
It was one of the biggest highs I've ever had in my life.
Really important moments for us in terms of breaking barriers down as an England team.
Bili su spremni na sve.
Suba je fenomenalno branio. Kako je taj zabio završno što nas je odvelo u sljedeću fazu.
I kad smo došli naravno na Ruse, opet izdržali 120 minuta i pokazali po drugi put karakter i tu jačinu i tu sposobnost da možemo to izdržati.
En Argentine ou pas, on doit passer ce tour.
Je pense que c'est ce match-là qui nous a permis de bien nous sentir pour les matchs qui ont suivi.
C'est pas fini, c'est juste une étape.
And hunted towards goal and in by Rafael Van Der Vaart.
Those 14 seconds very much relate the story of this group of players. At that moment, we realized that we were ready to be facing whatever was coming our way. That's, without a doubt, one of the biggest results for Belgian football. The game against France went down to very small details.
C'était un match très tendu, très chaud, très très difficile. Ça c'est le parfum de la victoire, ça. Les gars là, il marque, c'est lui qui nous fait passer en finale.
We've got to try and blur out it's a World Cup semi-final.
Jednostavno, ne možeš ti tu sreću opisati.
Najveća utakmica moje karijere.
Aujourd'hui, il y a 90 minutes pour rentrer dans l'histoire. Ok.
Flicked in by Griezmann. Perisic 1-1. France have their lead back. Here's Mbappé. Oh my word! It is France. Allez les Bleus.
Quand tu vois la coupe après, tu la portes et voilà, après c'est un soulagement et une jouissance qui va rester à vie. C'est vraiment magnifique, magnifique.
So, that was exciting. So many incredible moments, so many passionate moments. I don't know about you, but I got goosebumps. What about you, Rafael?
Yeah, me too. It's great to see, you know, especially in these days. We all play without fans, and when you see this, the players, so much passion, the fans, it's incredible, and of course we miss it. And a big compliment to the players now because they play in empty stadiums. It's not nice, but they still have a lot of passion. And for us as a viewer home, it's still good to watch.
Indeed, and we all look forward to see the stadiums packed, as we've seen thousands of months, days before. So, speaking about what we have seen on the video, Belgium was one of the surprises back in 2018. They have very talented players such as Eden Hazard, Lukaku, Kevin De Bruyne, and Thibaut Courtois. After the experience they got from Russia 2018 and having these many talented players, would you say, Rafael, that they are a stronger team now?
Yeah, absolutely. You said the word experience. I think that's the most important thing. That they played a few tournaments now, and they really know what you need to win something. Big players, they all play for big clubs. So I expect that they're one of the favorites. And you know, when you have De Bruyne, Hazard, Lukaku, I think they have, these days you need to be strong, physical, running, and they have both. They also can play football with the ball. So I think they're one of the favorites for me.
Okay. Daniele, you are a champion. and so it was Didier Deschamps. How do you think his experience of winning the FIFA World Cup as a player has helped him nowadays to boost France?
I think his experience helped a lot to lead this amazing team, but I think he's one of the reasons why they won. The most important reasons are, I guess, he's a very good coach, and his squad is full of champions. Young player, talented, with a lot of rage because of the loss of the European Cup in the last minutes against Portugal. I guess they put it on the pitch in Russia, and they show all the world they deserve to win, even if they face up against Croatia. That was a great team that made an amazing road till the final.
Indeed. Both teams we have to pay special attention to. So, that was 2018 in Russia, an incredible tournament, and also something that we all really enjoy with a worthy champion in France. Now it's time to pay all of our attention to the draw procedure, taking into consideration that Europe is the largest of the 6 continental confederations with 55 nations. We have to take into account that the draw procedure is understandably quite complex. So, what can we expect tonight?
32 teams will take part in the FIFA World Cup in Qatar, of which 13 will come from Europe. There are 55 European countries looking to qualify. These will be split into 10 groups, 5 with 5 teams and 5 with 6. The 10 group winners directly qualify for the FIFA World Cup finals. 3 more teams will also qualify via the playoff round. So how does the draw work? Based on the FIFA Coca-Cola World Ranking, the 55 teams are split into 6 pots. The 10 highest ranked teams will be allocated to pot 1, the next 10 highest to pot 2, and so on until the last 5 remaining teams have been allocated to pot 6. The draw will start with pot 1 and will continue in numerical order all the way through to pot 6. Each pot will be emptied entirely before proceeding to the next. As the teams are drawn, they will be allocated to a group alphabetically, from Group A to J. The draw then proceeds with pot 2, 3, 4, and 5. Finally, the countries in pot 6 will be drawn into the 6th position in Groups F to J. However, there are specific constraints that could preclude some teams being placed in a group. Should these situations arise, the teams in question will be allocated to the first available group in alphabetical order. Those are the 4 finalists of the UEFA Nations League must go into a group with 5 teams. There are several pairs of prohibited team clashes, meaning certain teams cannot be placed in the same group. 10 countries have been identified as providing a risk of severe winter conditions. No more than 2 of these can be drawn in the same group. Some countries are located at the outer edges of Europe, and the draw will ensure long journeys are kept at a minimum. No qualifying group can feature more than 1 such pairing. For full details, go to FIFA.com. To reconfirm, the 10 group winners all qualify for Qatar 2022. And 3 more teams will join them at the finals via the playoffs.
So, now that we know what to expect from tonight's draw, I'm delighted to say that I'm joined by our draw conductor this evening, FIFA's Jaime Yarta. Jaime, welcome, bienvenido.
Muchas gracias, Cristina, and good afternoon to all of you.
¿Cómo estás? ¿Preparado?
All good. Ready to go.
Perfect. I have to say that you have a lot of experience in this type of draws, so we are in safe hands tonight.
Well, I hope so. We have rehearsed everything we have tried, and I think the people will be thrilled that football is coming back. And this is a first step on that path, and we are looking forward to very exciting matches back in March.
Indeed, very exciting matches ahead of us. Daniele, sei pronto per all these exciting matches that will start in March 2021?
Yes, I'm ready. I am.
Good. Rafael, what about you?
I'm ready, always.
Born ready.
Exactly.
Fantastic. So, the wait is over. Jaime, over to you.
Thanks again, Cristina. Well, the European qualifiers to the FIFA World Cup are set to start in March 2021, and today we will conduct the draw to find out the team's pathway to Qatar. The format and procedures of the draw have been already explained, but before I start, I will just recap the teams in each pot. Pot 1 contains the 10 highest-seeded teams: Belgium, France, England, Portugal, Spain, Italy, Croatia, Denmark, Germany, and the Netherlands. In pot 2, we have Switzerland, Wales, Poland, Sweden, Austria, Ukraine, Serbia, Turkey, Slovakia, and Romania. Pot 3 contains Russia, Hungary, Republic of Ireland, Czech Republic, Norway, Northern Ireland, Iceland, Scotland, Greece, and Finland. Pot 4 includes Bosnia-Herzegovina, Slovenia, Montenegro, North Macedonia, Albania, Bulgaria, Israel, Belarus, Georgia, and Luxembourg. In pot 5, there are Armenia, Cyprus, Faroe Islands, Azerbaijan, Estonia, Kosovo, Kazakhstan, Lithuania, Latvia, and Andorra. And finally, the 5 remaining teams are in pot 6, which are Malta, Moldova, Liechtenstein, Gibraltar, and San Marino. And nothing holds out now from starting the draw. Daniele, tutto a posto?
Tutto a posto. Grazie.
Ben je klaar, Rafael?
Ik ben klaar.
Perfect. So let's start now from pot 1. Daniel, we have rehearsed, you know the drill. Please start moving, steer good the pots, and let's give us the first team.
Okay. Portugal.
Well, we start with one of the strong teams, the current European Championship. Cristiano Ronaldo has scored more goals than any other player in European qualifying, with 30 goals in 38 matches. And we will be placing them in Group A. Andiamo.
Spain.
España. Spain comes as second one. The 2010 FIFA World Cup winners, they haven't lost in the last qualifying campaigns. The last defeat was only way back in 1993. Spain will be placed in Group B.
Denmark.
And the next team coming up is Denmark. The tally of 25 goals scored in the last qualifying campaign was their highest ever. As we mentioned before, we have constraints, and Group C, D, and D require UEFA Nations League finalists. Therefore, we will place Denmark in Group F. Vamos allá.
Netherlands.
And the Netherlands, it sounds familiar, Rafael. Netherlands, the Dutch have won more FIFA World Cup qualifying matches than any other European nation. 82 victories in 125 games. Same reason as before, we will place, therefore, the team in Group G. Let's go.
Italy.
Well, it feels good, eh?
Yeah.
To show Italy.
Yeah.
With 46 wins and 9 draws, the Azzurri have never lost a home match in the World Cup qualifying fixtures. There is no constraints for Italy, therefore they will be placed in Group C.
Croatia.
And Croatia, runner-up of the last World Cup. They boast a record of only 8 defeats in their previous 62 qualifying matches, making it to 5 of the last 6 finals. Due to the same constraint than before, Croatia will be placed in Group H.
France.
Les champions du monde, les Bleus, the reigning FIFA World Cup champions, they have lost only 4 home qualifying matches in their history against Norway, Israel, Bulgaria, and Spain, and they will be placed in Group D.
England.
England, the Three Lions. They are 15 goals away from their 300 in a FIFA World Cup qualifying matches. Same constraint as I mentioned before, England will go to Group I.
Belgium.
And Belgium, the Red Devils, they are unbeaten in their last 2 World Cup qualifying campaigns, 17 wins and only 3 draws. They occupy the place in Group E. 1 team to go. This pot is almost over.
Germany.
It could only be Die Mannschaft, Germany, because it was the only team left. 2014 World Cup champions, Germany, were the only team with a 100% record during qualifying for the 2018 finals, with a remarkable goal difference of plus 39 goals. And they will be placed in Group G. Daniel, if I can ask you please now to move to the next pot. And you know the drill. Please steer the pots very well and let's go on.
Serbia.
And we start with Serbia. They suffered just 1 defeat in 10 matches during their successful 2018 qualifying campaign, and they will be joining Portugal in Group A.
Sweden.
Sweden. They were the first nation to qualify for a FIFA World Cup via preliminary competition. This was back in 1934 with a victory over Lithuania. Sweden will join Spain in Group B.
Switzerland.
Our host tonight tweets Switzerland. They enter the 2022 preliminaries, having been beaten in only 1 of the last 30 World Cup qualifying matches. This time, they're going to join Italy in Group C with their friends.
Yeah. Ukraine.
And next team coming up is Ukraine. Since 1998, Ukraine have featured in the European playoffs 4 times. This time they will have to face the world reigning champion, France, in Group D.
Wales.
And we have Wales now. They were unbeaten in their first 9 matches during the 2018 qualifying. But a solitary 1-0 defeat against the Republic of Ireland meant they missed out on the playoffs. This time they will face Belgium in Group E.
Austria.
Österreich. Austria won 8 out of 10 qualifiers when they successfully made it to the 1998 World Cup in France, against Denmark in Group F. Turkey are 3 wins away from their 15th victory in the qualifying for the World Cup history. And I'm happy to say they're going against Netherlands in Group G, Rafael.
Thanks.
Slovakia.
And Slovakia have finished in top 2 in 3 of the last 4 World Cup qualifying campaigns. This time, they're going to face the runner-up Croatia in Group H.
Poland.
And Poland, on his way to the 2018 finals, Robert Lewandowski's 16 goals broke the record for a FIFA World Cup European qualifying campaign. This time he will have to face 3 Lions, England in Group I. One more to go, and I'm hoping it's the right one.
Romania.
And it is Romania, last team on the pot. They recorded 9 wins and a draw from the 10 qualifying matches for France 1998. Almost as impressive was the goal difference with plus 33 goals. They will be joining Germany in Group J. Okay, we finished pot 2. Let's move to the next one, and you are almost through. Go ahead, Daniele. Ti prego.
Republic of Ireland.
Republic of Ireland. In 6 of the last 8 FIFA World Cup qualifying campaigns, the Republic of Ireland have finished their group with no more than 1 defeat. This time, they join Portugal and Serbia in Group A.
Greece.
Next team coming up, Greece. They have participated in the playoff round of the European qualifiers in each of the last 3 editions of the tournament. They join Spain and Sweden in Group B.
Northern Ireland.
And Northern Ireland, they registered their best winning sequence in a qualifying group when they won 5 straight matches in 2008 without conceding a single goal. They're going to have a difficult group by now, C with Italy and Switzerland.
Finland.
And Finland, they stayed unbeaten in the last 4 games of the 2018 qualifying, but they have never gone 5 successive qualifiers undefeated. This time, they go to Group D with France and Ukraine.
Czech Republic.
The Czech Republic. They scored 37 goals in 14 qualifiers during their successful 2006 FIFA World Cup qualifying campaign. They go to Group E with Belgium and Wales.
Scotland.
Scotland, although failing to qualify for the 2018 World Cup, Scotland's 5-win in qualifying was their best return since they made it to the finals back in 1998. They will be facing Denmark and Austria in Group F.
Norway.
And we have Norway now. Norway registered the biggest away win in a qualifying history when they defeated San Marino 8-0 in 2018. They will be in the same group as Netherlands and Turkey, Group G.
Russia.
Russia, 2018 World Cup host. Russia topped their group at the last appearance in the qualifying phase back in 2014. This time, they will face Croatia and Slovakia in Group H.
Hungary.
And Hungary, they have failed to score in only 2 of their last 14 home qualifying matches, and both times it was against Portugal. This time, they will be facing England and Poland in Group I. Last one, Daniele.
Iceland.
Iceland, a very positive surprise. They reached the World Cup for the first time in 2018, topping the qualifying group with 22 points from 10 matches. They go to Group J with Germany and Romania. Daniele, tante grazie. Aspetta un attimo, non abbiamo ancora finito. Let's wait for a second, we're going to need you later. Cristina, I think we're doing very well. What do you think about what you have seen until now?
Indeed, we have already 30 teams taken out, and some interesting matches ahead of us. For example, in Group C, Italy, we have a match between Italy and Switzerland, a very interesting match in Group I between England and Poland with Robert Lewandowski. We'll have to keep an eye on him as he becomes another time the top scorer. Netherlands versus Turkey. You mentioned that you were eager to see that game. And let's see what happens between Germany and Iceland in Group J. As you mentioned, Iceland was one of the surprises in the last qualifiers. So let's see if they can repeat that success. We still have another 25 teams remaining, so I'm sure Daniele and Rafael are eager to know what's going to happen next. Let's continue.
Rafael, are you ready then? Well, you know the drill. Let's do the same.
Luxembourg.
And we have Luxembourg, one of only 3 teams to have participated in all 20 FIFA World Cup preliminary competitions to date. With Portugal, Serbia and Republic of Ireland, they will be placed in Group A.
Georgia.
And we have Georgia's, the 3rd place finish in the 2002 FIFA World Cup preliminary competition is their highest in a qualifying group to date. Placed in Group B with Spain, Sweden and Greece.
Bulgaria.
We have Bulgaria, only 2 defeats in Bulgaria's last 17 home FIFA World Cup qualifiers, now in Group C with Italy, Switzerland and Northern Ireland.
Belarus.
And Belarus. Belarus picked up a point in a goalless draw with eventual champions France during the qualifying campaign for Russia 2018. As there is a constraint now due to the winter conditions, we will put Belarus in Group E.
Bosnia-Herzegovina.
In Bosnia-Herzegovina, they have scored 54 goals in the last 2 FIFA World Cup qualifying campaigns, an average of almost 3 goals per game. They'll join France, Ukraine and Finland in Group D.
Israel.
And Israel, impressive record during 2006 preliminary phase, completed a 19-game unbeaten run in a FIFA World Cup qualifying. They are joining Denmark, Austria and Scotland in Group F.
Montenegro.
Montenegro during the 2018 preliminary campaign, Montenegro recorded their highest number of wins, 5 in a FIFA World Cup qualifying group. They will be joining Netherlands, Turkey and Norway in Group G.
Slovenia.
Slovenia, on each of the 2 occasions that Slovenia have qualified for the FIFA World Cup, they have done so via the playoffs. This time, they will be facing Croatia, Slovakia and Russia in Group H.
Albania.
Albania, in the last qualification campaign, they finished 3rd in their group behind Spain and Italy. 2 very difficult teams, obviously. They are joining now England, Poland and Hungary in Group I. Last one for this pot.
North Macedonia.
And is the only team that was left. North Macedonia's 11-1 win in 1996 against Liechtenstein set an international record for most goals scored in a match by a side making their debut in a FIFA World Cup preliminary campaign. This time they have to face Germany, Romania and Iceland in Group G. Rafael, the same. Let's change pot and let's finish the next one. Go ahead.
Kosovo.
And we have Kosovo now. Kosovo claimed a point in a 1-1 draw away to Finland in the first ever FIFA World Cup qualifying match in 2016. As we have another constraint, we will place Kosovo in Group B together with Spain, Sweden, Greece and Georgia, finishing the Group B.
Azerbaijan.
Azerbaijan's longest unbeaten run in a World Cup qualifying history stands at 7 matches. They'll join now Group A with Portugal, Serbia, Republic of Ireland and Luxembourg.
Lithuania.
Lithuania. They were unbeaten in the first 5 fixtures in the 2006 qualifiers, a run that included draws against Belgium and Spain. Now they're going to face Italy, Switzerland, North Ireland and Bulgaria in Group C.
Estonia.
Estonia. Andres Opper, Estonia's all-time record goal scorer, found the net in 5 consecutive World Cup qualifying campaigns from 1998 to 2014. There is also a restriction with the winter, therefore we will be moving Estonia to Group E with Belgium, Wales, Czech Republic and Belarus.
Kazakhstan.
In Kazakhstan, the first FIFA World Cup qualifying victory as a UEFA member was a 3-0 win over Andorra back in 2008. They will be joining world champion France, Ukraine, Finland and Bosnia-Herzegovina in Group D.
Faroe Islands.
Faroe Islands. A return of 9 points in Faroe Islands' 2018 qualifying campaign eclipsed a previous best tally of 7 points in 2002. It will join Denmark, Austria, Scotland and Israel in Group F.
Latvia.
And Latvia. The Latvians' best performance in a FIFA World Cup qualifying tournament came in 2010 preliminaries, when they picked up 5 wins and 2 draws from the 10 matches, joining Netherlands, Turkey, Norway and Montenegro in Group G.
Cyprus.
And Cyprus, they enjoyed their best run of results in a World Cup qualifying history when they picked up 10 points from a possible 12 during the 2019 qualifiers. This time in Group H against Croatia, Slovakia, Russia and Slovenia.
Andorra.
Andorra. They kept a consecutive clean sheet for the first time in a FIFA World Cup qualifying competition when they shut out Faroe Islands and Hungary during the qualifiers for Russia 2018. They joined England, Poland, Hungary and Albania in Group I. Last one from the pot, Rafael.
Armenia.
Armenia. Their total of 13 points in the 2014 qualifiers is Armenia's best World Cup qualifying campaign to date, joining Germany, Romania, Iceland and North Macedonia in Group G. Okay, Rafael, let's change. Only 5 more to go. We're almost there.
Moldova.
And Moldova, the 2014 qualifiers saw Moldova reach double figures in the goal-scoring charts for the first time during a group stage campaign. They scored 12 goals. They go to Group F.
Gibraltar.
And Gibraltar, one of the two debutants in the 2018 European qualifiers alongside Kosovo. They will be going to Group G.
Malta.
And Malta played their 100th FIFA World Cup qualifying match during the 2018 qualifiers, and they will be placed in Group H. Two more.
San Marino.
And San Marino, they picked up the historic first ever point in a FIFA World Cup qualifying, courtesy of a 0-0 draw against Turkey in 1993. They will be placed in Group I. And it's a pity, but it's over. Last ball.
One.
So let's do it right.
Liechtenstein.
And it's correct. Liechtenstein. Impressively, Liechtenstein scored 13 goals in 12 matches during the 2006 qualifiers and closes Group G. Okay, that was really fantastic. Thank you, guys. It was very nice. So let me recap very briefly the completed groups. So we will start with Group A with Portugal, Serbia, Republic of Ireland, Luxembourg, and Azerbaijan. Group B, Spain, Sweden, Greece, Georgia, and Kosovo. Group C, Italy, Switzerland, North Ireland, Bulgaria, and Lithuania. Group D, France, Ukraine, Finland, Bosnia-Herzegovina, and Kazakhstan. Group E, Belgium, Wales, Czech Republic, Belarus, and Estonia. Group F, Denmark, Austria, Scotland, Israel, Faroe Islands, and Moldova. Group G, Netherlands, Turkey, Norway, Montenegro, Latvia, and Gibraltar. Group H, Croatia, Slovakia, or Russia, Slovenia, Cyprus, and Malta. Group I, England, Poland, Hungary, Albania, Andorra, and San Marino. And Group G, Germany, Romania, Iceland, North Macedonia, Armenia, and Liechtenstein. So really, really, really exciting matches ahead of us. What do you think, Christina?
Indeed. I can wait. I don't know about you, but I'm eager for the kickoff of next year. So let's comment and share our thoughts on the different qualifying groups that we have already. Rafael, let's begin with you. In Group G, we have Netherlands, Turkey, Norway, Montenegro, Latvia, and Gibraltar. What are your first impressions about this group?
I think it's the toughest group. Really difficult games, good opponent. So I think, of course, Netherlands is the favorite. That we always think we are the favorites. But I mean, when you see this group, it's a difficult one.
Which one in particular concerns you slightly more? Maybe Norway, because we have some very talented and young players such as Martin Odegaard or Haaland at the moment?
Yeah, absolutely. They are great players. So Norway is especially because you mentioned that two players are at the moment flying, especially Haaland. But also Turkey. In Holland, a lot of Turkish people living in Holland. So it's going to be a really interesting game for us and interesting group.
Okay. Do you have any specific memory from fighting against any of these teams?
No, not really. I can't remember. Also not against Gibraltar. No.
Okay. Daniele, in your case, we have Italy in Group C, together with Switzerland, Northern Ireland, Bulgaria, and Lithuania. What do you think about this group?
Maybe it's not tough like the Netherlands one, but it could be tricky, so we have to be careful because all the teams we have to respect all the teams, and then the matches are there to play with. So we'll see how the level of Italy will be in this moment.
Speaking about Italy, what would you say are its biggest strengths at the moment?
Well, Italy is reaching a higher level. We were not that good in the few years, so we're very proud now of our team, and we expect more when, after the European Cup, we will face this group to reach the World Cup.
Mm-hmm. Unlike previous editions, we cannot really see a depth group, but in your opinion, Daniele, which would be the toughest group?
All the groups are very balanced, but I think Group F is the one who I don't know. I don't bet to any team of them because they are very in a same level, I guess. All the teams are improving their level, so it should be an interesting group.
All right. We mentioned before the high impact that Robert Lewandowski had in the previous qualifiers in Russia 2018. Who would you say is going to be the top scorer next year?
I hope Immobile. Immobile was the golden boot, last golden boot, and we have to respect this. So I hope Immobile will be the top scorer. But of course, you mentioned Lewandowski, and there are many other players that can score a lot of goals, and we'll see.
All right. That was it. Thank you very much to both of you, and especially thank you to you, Jaime, for being the draw conductor tonight. The draw is over now, so there we have it. We now know what to expect, and we also know all the qualifying groups, and after such a difficult year for Europe and the whole world as a whole, we can start to look forward to a brighter future and some highly anticipated matches throughout 2021 and into 2022. And there is no doubt that the qualifying teams can all look forward to a totally unique experience in Qatar. Ultra-modern stadiums and facilities in a traditional culture and the most compact stage for football's ultimate contest, a FIFA World Cup like never before. We hope to see you there. Thank you and good night.